Hello Flosstube, this is Heather, Link is my homeboy. Today is Friday, March 29th, 2019. This is Flosstube number 17, for real this time. If you are new here, then welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you for joining me to hear me talk about my stitching. Today's probably going to be a short video because I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but that's okay. Life updates. We are still kind of dealing with Jim's new schedule. He does get to see the kids a lot more with this schedule, and he gets alone time. I get alone time. It really sucks that he has to work at night, but for now I think it's working. So that may change though. In his experience with these kinds of positions and shifts, it can go from good to bad really quickly, and he might want to get the hell out of there quick. But for now, I think this is probably working out the best for us. So anyway, on to stitching. So I have no FFOs. I have no FOs. I have no new starts. I have plenty of whips to talk about because magical stitches, and I guess I have a little bit of plans to talk about, a little bit of haul, a couple of shout outs, and giveaways. So I guess let's get into that. So for whips, and if I remember what I worked on for magical stitches, I'll let you know, but if not, I mean, I know I worked on it for magical stitches, but I don't know exactly the tasks. The most recent one I'm working on for the current like flash challenge is what I call them. It is 600 stitches on something that's Christmas or wintry or somehow related to a gift that you would get under the tree. So for me, really the only one that fits in there is Winter in the Woods. I'm stitching this for a guy that my husband works with or worked with. They golf and they hunt and do stuff together. So I am making some changes. I'm taking out all the hearts on there, and I created a couple of little morel mushrooms because apparently he goes mushroom hunting, and added just like a couple extra berries and leaves and stuff like that. And it's still in the Q-snap, but you'll deal with it. So that's where I am so far. And this is one of those pieces where the back stitch is very important. I'm doing this on a piece of 28 count white Lugana from, I think it's like the Charles Craft. I think I picked it up at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's, one of the three. So I think last time I had the deer done, last time I showed this, I had the deer and this flower and maybe like a berry or something like that. So I've added all of this stuff here. That's gonna be a flower, that's a snowflake, that's a star, berry, I think that's a leaf. I think these ones where it's like 2 stitches are leaves. That's the start of a bunny. So, and it was funny, I was working on this earlier and Link comes over and he says, Mommy, why do you need so many needle minders? Gosh! And then just like walks away. So, I was cracking up. Now, the reason there's 3 needle minders on this, I had this needle minder on here, and that was enough because I'm working from a PDF pattern since I recharted some of it. And so this needle minder was on there, and that was fine. But then, like, these were on another piece, and I just didn't go put them away. I put the piece away, but I don't store my needle minders on my projects. So I just hadn't gotten to put them away, so I just stuck them on the project. They're not doing anything. They're just sitting there. So they're for decoration. It's project jewelry. I mean, we have so many. I have so many needle minders and only so many projects, and sometimes you just need to make them pretty, right? But I think I'm like 300 stitches into that challenge. I'll probably get that done tonight. I think the challenge has to be done by tomorrow night, by like midnight Central Time, I think. So, peacocks, or disco turkeys, as I have found out they're called. Like, there was a meme I saw, and it said something about like peacocks are just disco turkeys. So, disco turkeys they are indeed.
This is Lindy Stitches. This was her. I don't think it's a market exclusive because but it's like it's market limited or something like that. It was a market release. And so you can't get it on her website yet. You have to call your L&S and see if they picked it up at market. So I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count Jobelin in Petunia from Color and Cotton. Sorry, I'm getting it all folded to where my stitches are. And there's where I am so far. And I'm using exactly none of the called for colors. I think actually 310. I'm using 310. But even that, I could use like Anchor Black. I have some Anchor Black. I could just be a pain in the ass that way. And I'm not exactly sure where I was last time I showed you this, but I do have, I've gotten ittiest bittiest burb, medium-sized burb, larger burb, and then this is like, there's like 5 different sizes of birds, like 5 or 6 different sizes of peacocks on this thing. And then I got that center motif done there. And on the border here, these flowers and the light purple on the flowers up here, those are both silks. This one is a Dinky Dyes, and this one is a Silks for You. And it's my first time using silk, and if I ever win the lottery or become independently wealthy in some manner, I am going to only use silks on Jobelin to stitch. Like, that's what I'm going to do with my piles and piles of money. Because stitching with silk on Jobelin is like stitching through air. It's so smooth. Why can I never fold these the same way I had them before? This is the video in which Heather folds all of her stuff the wrong way. And there's an extra credit for stitch in black, stitch 500 stitches in black because of Serious Black. And I pulled out Blackwork Lady, which I'm doing for the Blackwork birthday sal, which was Carrie and Stitch's birthday sal from last year. And I actually got started in some of the blackwork part. Actually, I think I had this little bit done, like on her chest there, like her chest and her arm there. But I got all the rest of this black work done down here. I always forget how fast black work works up once you get started on it. So it's a mix. It's Lesley Teare. It's a Lesley Teare, which I did find out that you can get a PDF of it from Creative Poppy. I'll link it below. I got this from Carrie after she was done stitching it, and it was from World of Cross Stitching, but I'm not sure which issue. If I find out, I'll put it on the screen. But you can buy the PDF. I think it was like $6 or $7, so that's not bad. And this is being stitched on a piece of 28-ish count Monaco even weave that was home dyed by Angie, the Hibernation Stitcher, and she sent it to me. She didn't like the coloring, but I do. So it's not showing it too well here. There's a little bit of like orange and yellows through. Oh, there you go. There's some of the oranges and yellows. It's mostly pink, but it's got some oranges and yellows, and I just loved it for this piece. And it's working out really, really well. I think if I spent a couple more days on this, I could be done. Now there's a lot of French knots in it. Like there's, I don't remember, Carrie counted it at one point. There's a whole bunch of French knots. I am so not doing French knots. I'm so not doing that many French knots. I will be beating. I don't know if I'm going to use black or if I'm going to use colors, but I'll figure it out when I get there. Next one, Ink Circles, Twisted Heart. And I am doing this for my daughter. And I'm not doing this little motif, or this little motif. I'm just doing the heart itself. And I'm doing it in a Moe's sale called River Song. got a decent amount of progress on this. I don't remember why I pulled this out. Arithmancy, because it's a symmetrical design. So again, that's another one. If I spend a couple of days on it, or even a day on it, I could probably get it done. And then for Care of Magical Creatures, because we had to take classes, and we had to pick classes, and you had to pick 3 out of the 5 to get minimum points, but of course I'm an overachiever, and I had to make up for missing other homework, so I did all 5. Care of Magical Creatures, I did my unicorn from Fuzzy Fox Designs. And finished that little cloud down there. Got some work on this other cloud. This one is deceptively deceptively busy because there's so many colors in it. Like it's got B5200 and Blanc, and a couple of other shit, like, you know, like I think that's a crew there, and then like this is like 672 maybe, I don't know. And so, and then of course the mane and the tail are rainbow, and then there's like stars around it and stuff like that. So that's another one that if I spent a couple days on it, it'd be done. So why don't I have any finishes? And then the other day you may have seen, I posted a second Stitch With Me video, which was the second time I recorded that one. I didn't like the first one, but I used this to record the first one. And then I worked on it a little bit more that day too. This is Autumn Hedgehog by Lucy Heaton. It was a freebie in one of her newsletters. And I finished up the little hedgehog and got all the back stitching done on him, and he's adorable. And then I finished this little leaf down here. And there's like all sorts of like fall foliage around him. And this is done, oh, I'm forgetting the fabrics here. This is 14 count Black Ada. Probably got it at Michael's. This is 14 count light blue Ada that I think it's Witchels or Zweigert. I got it on 123 Stitch. And this is 14 count home dye orange Ada I received from a stitchy friend. I also worked on the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Seize the Day Sal. And I've got most of the first release done. There's still a little bit of the waves to go over here, and I think I finished it off over here, but I can't remember honestly. There's a little bit of the wave to go off over here. And the third release has now come out, but I use this for Muggle Studies because there's actually an airplane with a banner that goes over here, and you didn't have to stitch on the actual thing, so it worked. And this is done on 28 count sand even weave. It came in the kit. I got the kit from Stitch and Mommy's giveaway, and I do actually keep the needle minder on this one because it came with it. So, and this is all in the called for DMC threads, so because it came with the kit. Apparently I was just obsessed with Lindy Stitch's Big Bird stuff because Birds of the Boughs got some love too. Apparently I kept a needle minder on this one. I say I don't keep needle minders on my projects, and I show you 2 projects where I kept the needle minders on. I did some more work on the border up here. They're just half stitches. I haven't come back and covered them. I moved over. I frogged and moved over to because when I pulled it out, it was just way too glaring. So I thought about like putting another motif over here to fill that space, but it was way too glaring for me. And then I think I put in this work on the orange, but I might have done that before last time I showed it. So this is done on a piece of 20 count Ada in Purple Passion. Like I said, it's either a Witchels or a Zweigert. I got it on 123 Stitch. And the last whip I worked on here is the Fuzzy Fox Designs Magic Mini Monsters Sal. So, the border and the first monster were released in January. 2 more monsters were released in February. 2 more monsters were released in March. And she's getting ready to release the next ones for April. And I'm woefully behind because why wouldn't I be? So I got a little bit of the border done, and I got 2 monsters completed. So The border is being done in Troll from Unicorn Tales. I just figured that was way too perfect. This is the first monster from January. Her name is Melody the Birthday Monster. And then those are her friends Prickles and Bubbles. And holy crap, backstitching on that one. I think I made a poor decision when I when I chose my fabric, because this is a 20 count opalescent Aida from Mystic Fabrics. So it's a hand-dyed opalescent high count Aida, and there are fractional back stitches all over this. So that was fun. She took a lot longer than she probably would have if I'd used a higher count, or I mean a lower count Aida, or an even weave or something. But the back stitching is effective, so I'm not complaining. She is done completely uncalled for colors except for the body. I've decided that some of my funky variegated, mostly mosaic, I do have some jotteries and a couple of sparklies that are pretty highly variegated. I've decided that I'm going to change the bodies. So her body is done in Maui from Mosaic. She kind of ended up looking a little bit like a globe, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not mad about it. And then this little guy over here, this is Burple. His main body was actually a darker shade of purple, but I changed it to this Mosaic called Gothic from her Halloween collection. And I didn't intend on him having a sweatband up there, but that's just kind of how it landed. And he is charted just with an empty hand up there. And Rachel of Fuzzy Fox Design, she made a little 3D like purse for hers to hold. And I just wanted to do stitching. So I made him a stitcher. That's a little embroidery hoop, and he's showing off his little stitch that he's made. So there's the whole design at the moment. This is a big one. But yeah, there's 3 more monsters to do, because I still have to do the other February monster, both of the Marches, and then both of the Aprils when that gets released. I was going to try and catch up on this one, but then once I finished Burple, I was like, no, I'm going to move on to the next one. So that's it for my whips. Like I said, I don't have any new starts or anything like that, so I've lost my notes. I don't have any new starts to share, so. Haul. So I forgot to show this last time. I actually had it last time, and I just forgot about it. So my sister, a few weeks ago, had asked, hey, I have this cross stitch I'm working on, and I'm not going to finish it. Do you want the flosses and everything? And I was like, well, what are you doing with the actual cross stitch? And she said, I was just going to throw it away. I was like, no, don't throw that away. And she's like, well, it's dirty and you know, it's not finished. And I was like, it's okay. I will try and clean it. So she was originally stitching this for a house she bought with an ex-boyfriend. She's now married. She's now married and has a kid with her husband. So, I mean, you know, that was ancient history. So she's been working on this for a while. But this is a Joan Elliott design. Fans of the Far East, maybe. I believe she got it in a library book and copied the pattern from there. Now I know that I can purchase it, but I do have the pattern. So this fan over here is completely done. I'm pretty sure the middle fan is completely done too. And then this fan over here needs to be finished. And then there's like, I will insert a picture here of what it actually is supposed to look like. And she's started a little bit of that inner border down here. But I think what I'm going to do, because after many washings, there's still staining. There's still quite a bit of staining. And some of it is in areas that you aren't supposed to stitch. But my thought is here. I don't really like the border. So what my thought is, I'm going to finish the fans themselves. And then like, I don't know if it's going to catch it or not, but like down here underneath this middle fan, that's where some of the heaviest staining is like right here and in this area. So my thought is stitch the fans, do all the back stitch, and then I'm going to rip out the border here, the border line, and fill in any spaces. Like this part, this white here is not stitched, but maybe I'll fill it in with white stitches and fill in like the areas here and some of the areas here. And then what I do is I go and get a mat that is cut close to the fans instead of like trying to get a rectangle mat or a square, like a rectangle mat or something like that. And this is going to be a funky one anyway, because it is a long piece. So it's not standard framing at all. So I'm probably going to have to get a custom made mat, a custom made frame. So that's my thought. My other thought is getting it made into a wall hanging. But I'm definitely saving the stitches. And I'm so upset with my sister because like she doesn't stitch as much as I do. Like I'm the one who caught the major stitchy bug in the family. Both my parents stitch, my sister stitches. I think my other sister has tried, and maybe my brother has tried. I can't really remember. And then my brother-in-law is a new stitcher, my sister's husband, the sister who gave me this. And I'm really annoyed that she's like not obsessed with stitching, because her stitches are like perfect. And she says she doesn't even try. She doesn't do anything special. She doesn't railroad. She didn't even know what that was. She doesn't use a laying tool. Focus. But her stitches are like perfect. And so I'm kind of irritated that she doesn't, it's really unfair. And there's the back of it. Look at how neat her back is. So unfair. So unfair. Waste of talent. Told her that too. And she still stitches occasionally. She's got some other things picked out now that, you know, she's married, and her husband have a different idea of the house than, it's not the same house, but, you know, her and her husband have a different idea of how they're decorating. They're not going to do like an Asian themed room like my sister and her ex were. So, all right, so save the stitches. Next, Mo has started dyeing silks again. She's doing them differently this time though. She's doing, it's single strand. So you get like 75 meters of it or something like that. But it's all one strand. I haven't used any of it yet because I haven't found a place to use it yet, but rest assured I will. But this one is called Smoked Salmon. So it's a really light pink. Do I have anything white to hold up behind this? No, because I'm an idiot. I forgot to grab something. Oh, my notebook. I can use that. So this one's called Smoked Salmon. So it goes from like a real peachy tone. It's got like a big splotch here basically but it's pretty variegated. And this one is called Rainforest. So she's gonna be dyeing two what she calls solids. These would be the solids because they're just tonal variegation. They're not multicolored variegation. And then she'll be dyeing two of the multicolored variegations per month. And I think it was $3.75 per skein on these. So, which is not bad. This feels better than the other silk that she had before. Now I still haven't used any of that either. But maybe I'll do maybe I'll just do a couple like test swatches or something like that and see what the comparison is. All right, next bit of haul here. I'm a little lazy on this one. I had Cheryl of Tranquil Stitches make me some zipper finders. So because I got a bunch of these for Christmas, and most of my projects are in these because they're cheap. Someday I would love to have all sorts of handmade bags from all my stitchy friends, but it's not in the budget. But a few little fancy zipper finders was definitely in the budget. So she sent me this cute little owl card, and you can bet that's going to be turned into a floss card. And this is actually one of the ones she sent me. It's my favorite of the bunch. She drank the Kool-Aid and joined Magical Stitches, even though she has no idea what we're talking about when it comes to Harry Potter. But it is a Hufflepuff themed, which I'm a Hufflepuff. And it's got the Deathly Hallows symbol on the end there. And then I'm going to be lazy. I didn't pull them all off my bags. I didn't feel like doing it. So here's a picture of all of them together. And I just told her to surprise me because she knows what I like. She's seen what I stitch. So I just said, surprise me. You know what kind of things I stitch and what colors I like. So she did a good job. And last little bit of stitchy haul here actually showed up this afternoon. I am expecting a couple of packages, but I was not expecting this one. So Amy of Amy Loves Toads sent me a little stitchy kindness. She sent me this awesome card with a lovely little note inside. Look at all those mushrooms. There's those morel mushrooms I was mentioning earlier. These are the kind we get in Indiana. These ones here, these conical shaped ones. And if you watch her, you will have seen this finish in her, not the video that I uploaded today, but her most recent one before that. The little pillow ornament was for me. So I definitely cried some happy tears when I opened it and read her message. And this fabric on the back has some little sparkly, it's not going to show, but some of these little spots are sparkly silver. And it says Stitchy Friends since 2018. So, you know, she suggested I could, I think she suggested in her video to, like, you know, it could be an ornament, but you could hang it up all winter. And no, this is going up above my craft desk, and it's going to be there all year round. So I've already told her thank you and everything. But again, Amy, thank you. That meant so much to me to get a little stitched gift from you. So, plans. I'm going to let go of the rotation idea for now. It in itself was a work in progress, because I don't think I didn't go 2 months in a row where I did the same rotation. And like this month I got really, really discouraged. And I know it was because I was sick, so that I missed almost a week of stitching time, and I didn't get any finishes this month, and I didn't get an FFO this month. I mean, it's the 29th. It's late on the 29th. I have 2 days left, but this weekend's busy. I don't think I'm gonna finish anything. I don't think I'm gonna FFO anything. So, and I think maybe it's because I've been trying to focus too much on the rotation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a break for a month. I'm just gonna stitch what I want, and I'm gonna fit it in with Magical Stitches as much as I can, but I'm gonna take some non-counting, non-magical stitches, non-rotation stitching time too, and see if that kind of puts me back in the mood. And I'm also gonna try and get a couple of finishes at least next month. I've got several smalls in there that I could get finished. I know that I have my Fuzzy Fox Designs Pretty Little Produce that I was hoping to get finished by May the 4th as part of Audrey Stitchy Witch 42's Finish One Challenge, which she's going to finish hers, which is awesome. She's down to the final 3 pages, and she's got like probably like a fifth of each page done, at least at the last time I saw it. So great. Good job, Audrey. And, but I'm way far away from a finish on that. And I stitched that one a little bit slower because it's 20 count Aida. Now, it's not opalescent and it's not hand dyed, so it's not nearly as slow as the monsters, but but it's still 20 count Aida, and I'm still not as fast on that as I am on some of the lower counts. So but it's been calling to me. I definitely want to get that out, and I want to put some stitches into it. And I'd like to get back to Peacocks and stitch a little more on that, because that piece just makes me extremely happy right now. It's probably my favorite piece I'm stitching right now. I've also got a couple of things that I'm stitching for other people, like the Winter in the Woods, and I have a project that I've been stitching for a friend for, I don't know, I think she asked me for something over a year ago, and I'm an asshole and haven't finished it. It's almost done. I need to pick it up and go. So the plans are not to really have any plans at this moment. But I guess we'll see. Maybe after April is done, maybe I want to go back. Maybe I'll reevaluate. I might take a look at some people that are doing rotations and kind of see what else they're doing and see if I can pull some ideas from them and maybe revamp my rotation a little more. So if you do a rotation and you have any comments on that, let me know. Any suggestions on what to do. Even if you don't do a rotation and you've seen what other people do, guide me to their video or let me know what they do, and maybe I'll find something that I like. So yeah, plans are to have no plans. All right, so shout outs. I finally got around to watching Sarah King of Our Stitching Kingdom. I think her Flosstube channel is actually under Sarah King, but she calls it Our Stitching Kingdom. And I finally watched her most recent video. She's in School of Magical Stitches and Literature, so she talks a lot about it too. But I really liked her energy, and I liked the project she's stitching on. She's stitching on a good variety of projects. So if you haven't watched her, then go check her out. And another new Flosstuber, not just new to me, Megan the White-Eyed Stitcher. She's only got one video. She was suggested by Diana. It is Kismet Stitches. And I watched her video, and she has got some very eclectic taste. The pieces she's doing are very earthy and moody. I can definitely see why Diana likes her. So, but yeah, go check her out. Again, she is Megan the White-Eyed Stitcher, and it's Megan, M-E-G-A-N. So, and I think she's, what is she on Instagram? Wide-Eyed Stitching Child, maybe? If that's wrong, I'll put a note on the screen. But yeah, so those are two new to me ones that I've watched. I'm slowly catching up on Flosstube. I had a binge watch the other night of Jessie Marie. I had a binge watch the night before that of Christine Stitch All the Things. So I'm slowly catching up. All right, last thing, giveaways. So last time, so the Spooky Garden did get claimed by Candace Slub Lover Stitches. And I'm an asshole and haven't sent it out, so, but hopefully tomorrow I can get some stuff together and get some stuff sent out. But last time I was giving away this is Witch and Whiskers, and it's done by Teresa Murguita of Primitive Acorns. That's the actual chart there, so that's why there's a post-it note. So I asked you to answer with what is your favorite thing about spring, and there were only 3 people that answered. And I've got it all set up to do the drawing here. So 1, 2, 3. Number 1, Crystal Marie. All right, Crystal, if you will, either on Instagram or in my email, which I will put in the description box below, if you will send me your address, I will get that out to you. And this week's giveaway, this video's giveaway, it is another one that I've torn out of a magazine. This is from Just Cross Stitch of February 2018. It's the same magazine that this one came out of. This was the only reason really that I got the magazine anyway, was this, because this was on the cover. And that's really the only reason I got that one, was because of that. So, but this came out of the same magazine. This is called Strange Love. And this is by Cassandra Cavalca Conforti of Fairy Wool in the Wood. Strange Love. Lord Fox and Lady Hen. It says, Lord Fox and Lady Hen make an odd couple, as the fox is always watching the hen house. These delightful designs can be added to table linens or towels, or you could stitch the pair together for a piece of wild decor. So, if you would like to be entered to win this, I would like you to comment below with what is your favorite barnyard animal. If you don't like barnyards, what's your favorite animal? Of course, usual rules apply. You gotta be 18. You gotta be a subscriber. Please like and comment. You have to comment to win anyway. And don't say giveaway. I'll have to delete your comment. Yeah. This will be, tri-folded and put in an envelope. So if you don't like that, if you don't like it's been torn out of a magazine, then don't enter. All right, I said this is going to be a short one, and it's like 35 minutes, so. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Hopefully, I will be a little more coherent next time and have some progress, some good progress, like finishes and FFOs to show you. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.